used to playing these quiet affairs. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you feel the need. I have relocated to St. Louis, not permanently, part-time gig, and I'll kick it off with a song by St. Louis. I'm a historian, so this is about the 1904 World's Fair, and hope you like it. I can get this kazoo thing going here. Well, October 10th, 1904, $12 for 2 tickets for me and my girl, yeah. Kansas to St. Louis on that Missouri Pacific line, where the newspapers say they got a Ferris wheel, people eating dogs and automobiles and elephants and acrobats and Olympic games. The people who can fly don't need no train like the Missouri Pacific. Number 30 as she is packed, hear the steel wheels on that eastbound track. Standing in the aisles, but nobody seems to care. Heading to St. Louis, 1904 to see if the world's fair. I ain't never rode a train, but I seen one or two when we ride into town in December and June. And that's where I read on the depot wall, the world's greatest fair come one and all. So I saved up my money, gonna use a telephone dance to ragtime music, eat ice cream cones, Thomas Bass horses and Geronimo. Come on everybody, don't you want to go, yeah. The Missouri Pacific, number 30, she's making good time. The women are sleeping and the men are gambling away the night. 13 on board in Oxford town, superstitions beware, going to the World's Fair. Heard the steam bakes right around Waynesburg, a head-on collision in Dead Man's Curve. Too bad locomotives can't swerve. It's gonna be a death nobody deserves, but a freight train's man deprived of sleep 32 hours, tired and beat. He got the telegram to let 4 trains pass. Too bad he thought number 3 was the last. And the Missouri Pacific, number 30, she rolled on 32 dead, just an hour before dawn. And I lost my chance, but I really don't care. See, I already learned that the world ain't fair. Hey there. That's a little Missouri history for you. I had like 50 things to grab from the back there. You know, you got to get your water and get your capo and get your kazoo. I mean, you got to have your kazoo, you know. I'll be giving kazoo demonstrations out back after the show if anybody needs any help. Come on. I learned all my kazoo from Carl Coffey, wherever he may be tonight. This is a songwriter event, so I figure out to play some new songs, because that's what we as songwriters do, right, is write songs. So here's a new one. Dancing round, swinging round the white oak tree, crushing acorns in markets, brick streets, and the leaves are falling down, covering the ground. See you start to weep, 'cause I must be on my way, even though I'd love to say, you know, I was born to leave. But I promise that I'll call, and I'll sing you a love song. The bluegrass bars and foreign rental cars, time for the show. And here we go again, Here we go again, Lord, another night full of make-believe grins. Late night sounds, Monroe House, plastic room keys. Ice in the sink, but I'm too tired to drink. Think I'll go to sleep. And I lay my head down. Echoes of stage sounds. Clock says 4:03. Awake at noon. Back on the road by 2. Sound check at 6:15. Then a quick bite to eat. There's a fistful of quarters in the pinball machine. Yeah, straighten up my head and remember what she said. And then it's time to sing. And here we go again. Lord, here we go again. Another night draws to an end. Broken down, I was broken down, dog tired and beat. Tune up this old box, smile for the Goldilocks in the front row seats. And I'm sitting on this stage, singing songs back better days like here in Kentucky. You're thinking this is another slow tune about things this slick boy used to do. Well, cheers to broken dreams. But I keep on singing along to your favorite song. Yeah, the bluegrass bars got me forgetting just how far that I've fallen. I've fallen. Here we go again, Lord, here we go again. Yeah, another night full of good time and friends. Broken down, I'm always broken down, B. Don't cry, it's okay. There's a new song. Gassing up at Trimble's exit 3. I picked up my driver, heading out of Paducah. Yeah, we're going out on a big haul. I got 3 cars on 1 trailer, you know that's how I ball. And my driver rolls close behind. We hit I-24 and we're making good time. Head north to old St. Louis, Kansas City and Memphis are coming soon, and Dallas and Birmingham. All my time spent running across the land from these car-hauler blues. There's never any time to stop for food. It's the auto auction at 2 a.m. Unload my cars and I pick up my skids. 5 hours, a nap awake with some cold coffee. And they hand me my dealer tag, it says Murray, Kentucky. And the drivers roll them in and the dealers make the bids. It reminds me of the cattle auctions when I was a kid. The auctioneer is on a mic, he's a king of fast talking. I sold 3 cars and bought 2 more, now I'm loaded up again. It's Louisville and Cincinnati, Detroit, Michigan, and Washington, D.C. It's a short trip to Baltimore, Lexington to Oak Ridge. No, I don't think I can take no more of these car hauler blues. There's still no time to stop for food. Dusty fog line on a cornfield. There's old barns and they're docked up like boats to grain bins, and the shadows on the road sign. And a big white Freightliner, yeah, he's a blowing on by, and the last blink of the day sheds a tear red and floods the valley. But tonight, whoa, I sleep alone. I'm back in my truck at 5 a.m. Gonna pick up my last load and get home. I'm getting home. I'm gonna jump off of this dirty old road. I got Chevys and Hondas, Fords and Toyotas, Dodges and the Cadillacs and the rich folks BMWs, Saturns and the GMCs. We got Plymouth, Volkswagen, and the good old Mercuries. All riding on my toe. I'm the real deal car hauler, don't you know? Hey! That's a true story there. I am the real deal car hauler, don't you know? I think I've been to Baltimore and back 9 times since January, and it looks about the same every time I go out through there, really. Only thing I think about is getting home, jumping off of that dirty old road. Well, this is a songwriter event, and I'm a folk singer, so I'm not really into selling my music. I wish I could, but unfortunately, the songs that I write, the people who listen to them, they ain't got any money just like me, so better start looking at writing some different songs. But I feel that songs are just floating out there, you know, and you got to catch them. And sometimes you catch good ones, sometimes you catch bad ones. Me, I'm that guy who catches those fish that are like 12 inches is like keeper size, and I catch 11 inches constantly. 11 inches every time. Sometimes I try to sneak one out of the boat, and I don't make any money off of it. They make me throw it back in. So here's a country song that I caught. I actually wrote this for my good buddy Clayton Campbell. He called me one day and said he wanted to put out a country album, and I thought, well, you're gonna need some material. So I thought maybe I make some money off of it, but then I realized he ain't never mind, I'm not gonna say that. He's probably gonna make a lot of money off this song. So it's got a fiddle part. You'll know it when it comes to it, I can promise. Well, they're packed out the door and the waitresses pace the floor. I'm a-standing in the corner with a smile. The outlaws have won and left to nothing but the guns, and there's a sundown on the never-ending mile. And the clock strikes 2 and you know what to do. You play one for the losing and start leaving. You pay your bill and start a new deal and take another look for the leaving. Well, hey there, fiddler, won't you play along? Bow saw one off for the fellas who are sitting back home. One for yesterday and one for today, and one for the ladies who love our rowdy ways. Hey, fiddler, what do you say? These honky-tonk stages, lies and misbehaving, stuck in an old drunkard's caning. Out of tune singing, most of the time a winging the words that I'm flinging from the stage. Tell my mama, Miss Holman, that I've seen the light. No, this city life's not for me. And you tell my sister, oh Lord, how I miss her, and I long to be back in Kentucky. But hey there, fiddler, won't you play a long bow song? One off for the fellas who are drinking back home. Yeah, one for yesterday and one for today, and one for the ladies who love our rowdy ways. Hey fiddler, what do you say? Get your fiddles. Everybody get your fiddles, it's not hard. Put them out of your pocket, go right here. I see some of y'all in the back ain't got them out. Long bow. This lady right here gets a free CD. I mean, she was fiddling. See me after the show. I'll tell you what, you get a free CD. I'm from Granville, Kentucky, home of Davis Clothing. Ex-home of Tilford's Garage and the Stop and Go. Ex-home of Hancock's grocery store. Ex-home of Bradford's grocery store. There's a tanning bed there, and you can also take karate lessons. We're talking about Granville. But right down the road from Granville is Future City. And here's another new song I thought I'd try out tonight. It's called Future City Kid. Sounds a lot like the last one, doesn't it? 1982, got the small town blues. Graduated just last week. Mama kissed me on the cheek. I got a job at the Food World. That's where I met my girl. Soup's on aisle 4. Every other night I mop the floors. I mop the floor. Told me that the world was mine. It's free to walk my own line. So I said, oh, what the heck? I took all last week's check. Yeah, I went and saw the Grateful Dead. I got lost in what the gypsies said. On 2 through 4 states. Back home Tuesday. Things are about the same. So I'll bag your groceries up and carry them to your truck. I stock the shelves alone and still live at home. Dad said Johnny Carson's on, and Ed's got the microphone. Belly laughs before bed sure help to ease the head of a Future City kid. I was born with a heart too small to catch teardrops when they fall. Sweet Susan said I'm made of stone. I just turn up the radio. Yeah, I shift her into 3rd gear, and we're getting out of here. All of 18 years, nothing much to fear, except for broken mirrors. And there's a party in the game reserve. I drag a race past the S-curves. Gravel pits, they're burning tires. Redneck fights in the outlaw hours. I'm gonna sleep in my truck tonight, 'neath that old Kentucky sky. Awake to the same old life. Talk about leaving sometime. So I'll bag your groceries up and carry them to your truck. Stock the shelves alone and still live at home. Dad said Johnny Carson's on, and Ed's got the microphone. And belly laughs before bed sure help to ease the head of a future city kid. Got a throne in the stock room. It's made of milk crates that are navy blue. I sit and wait for the call. Carry out over the intercom. That was a pretty weak intercom voice there, but it's the first time I played this song, so give me a break. Paper sack, put the bread on top. They're closing up at 10 o'clock. I'm out the door at 10:13. All the Granville crew and me. Granville crew and me. Across the street to Lee's barbecue. Ray sitting on a picnic pew. Tending the pork, we watch the cars roll by. Talk about how time flies. I'm needing gas, but Mansfield's is closed. In Future City, that's the way things go. Someday we'll all be gone, but tonight I'm heading home. I'm heading home. So I'll bag your groceries up, carry them to your truck. I stock the shelves alone and still live at home. Dad said Johnny Carson's on, oh, and Ed's got that microphone. The belly laugh before bed can sure help to ease the head of a future city kid. Thank you. Well, y'all had to tell me when to shut up. I'm used to playing for a bunch of people who, drank a lot, and they tend to just stay there for hours, and you got to entertain them. So somebody please whistle or tell me. If you got any requests, feel free to shout them out, and I'll try not to do them. And while we're on local songs, how about another local song? Anybody down for that? Okay. Willie laid there in silence in the cool March night. He was a keeper of the truth. And he wake in the daylight with spring in the air, just a raring to go and push the broom. He was a football player back in his younger days, starting cornerback for Heath High School, class 1978. The same goal, number 81. He had a cheerleader named Irene. That was back before he went and hurt his right knee. He passed up college, all he wanted to be was a whistle in the janitor blues. Chalk dust clouds and fluorescent sunshine lead a path through the school desk to a sea of turpentine. And he waltzes with the mop at the classroom door and strolls with the buffer down the hallway floors. You know, he stands like a god at the lunchroom trash can where the kids dump their trays and they lose a spoon every now and again. And the paper towel dispenser in the North Hall needs refilled. He's got to fix that pencil sharpener for old Miss Chambers. When the smoke from his lungs filled the atmosphere, couldn't see the TV or its two bunny ears. When he'd eaten his ham sandwich, drank his root beer, he'd drift off to dream in his custodian's lair. And he'd wake an hour later to the school bell ring, ring. Break time was over and there were things to be clean, but he couldn't sweep the loneliness that scattered his dreams. Oh Lord, the janitor blues. Let's try that again. That was pretty good. I caught on quick, I didn't have to tell you. Well, he lays there in silence in the cool March night. He's a keeper of the truths. He wakes in the dew light, spring in the air, just ready to go and push the broom. And when the dust is collected and the truth is hid, stares from the adults and the filth from the kids. He jumps back on his moped to his three-room down, whistle and the janitor blues. Here you go. That was good. Well, if cleanliness were godliness, you know he'd be the king. From toilet brushes and window washing and being way down with the keys, he throws sawdust on the puke and laughs with unrespected glee. Oh Lord, the janitor blues. Oh Lord, the janitor blues. Last chance. Hey, good job, folks. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was nice. Crowd participation. Woo. That song was historical fiction is what I like to portray my music as. You know, it's not necessarily true, but it's not necessarily false. It's somewhere between, which I guess that would be false. But anyways, well, I'll do another local song because that's what I'm good at. You know. I just got a present from my good friend Tommy Oliverio. This is a vinyl record. Yes, whoever said that, very good. Way to pay attention. But Tommy found this at Antiques, Coins, Cards, and Collectibles. 3rd floor. If you ever need albums, it's a place to go. I think we've been through most of their albums, but this is probably the best album ever came out of there. This is Senator Alvin W. Barkley's final speech, April 30th, 1956. It's at a mock Democratic convention in a town in Virginia. I don't know exactly where, but it was printed in Paducah, Kentucky, actually. I don't know. Does anybody know where they printed vinyl in Paducah, Kentucky? You might know, you just don't want to date yourself, so I understand. Just pass it on, write on the card, pass it up here. I was pumped about this. Y'all don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think this is awesome, you know. So I'll do it. Cool, that's right. I'll do a song in B string in the key of F. And this is about Senator Alvin Barkley. My mom told me not to play this. She said it was too slow, but I got to do it. Well, the greatest stump speaker to ever win a crowd was Alvin W. Barkley. He sure made his mama proud. He wore a 3-piece suit with a watch and chain. Had a stomach made of iron, said he could have ate a train. And he rode through the country on his one-eyed horse named Richard. Out talking all the politicians with the words of 1,000 gospel preachers. He's a man who had a hand in bringing prosperity to the glorious Southland in their time of need. See, him and FDR, they were pretty good pals, and they conjured up a new deal to drive the Depression down. And they flooded the Tennessee Valley and brought cheap energy. And they drowned the towns in fertile bottom grounds, so boats could float at ease, and bought jobs with the CCC. Well, Al and Harry Truman needed a place to enrich uranium, keep the Russians in a race. And there's a spot outside Paducah where they used to make bombs. And there's land to be used and people needing jobs. So they grabbed the land and ran the biggest stand of power lines your eyes have ever seen. Wow, some big power lines. People drove from all around America. Paducah blew up with Ford Model Ts. Thanks to old Alvin Barkley, the greatest stump speaker to ever walk through Kentucky. Alvin Barkley, some called him the Veep. I think I'll call him a king. Well, Alvin died while giving a speech. That's what was on there, right? To a bunch of folks in old Virginia. Said, I'm willing to be a junior, glad to sit in the back row, for I'd rather be a servant in the house of the Lord, don't you know, than to sit in the seats of the mighty. And then he fell over dead. People crowded all along the railroad lines as they took him back to that old homeland. There's an airport named after him, a dam on the Cumberland, a road beside his old house, it's a bluegrass gym. There's cracks in the dam, pollution in the land. The airports are getting too big, we could sure use a hand. So please, Mr. Barkley, cast your words down from that big old stump on high. Ride down from heaven, you angel, and save us from these politicians' lies. Oh, Mr. Alvin Barkley, the greatest stump speaker to ever walk through Kentucky. Alvin Barkley. Some called him the Veep, I think I'll call him a king. Hey, for Alvin, yeah. Cheers. One more, hey. Well, my time here is short. I appreciate y'all listening to me. I got some CDs for sale over here, and really thanks for whistling with me. Like I said, I'm temporarily in St. Louis, so I have to drive. I drive cars for a living, And I have to drive from St. Louis to Murray, Kentucky to pick up the cars. So I'm back and forth through Cape Girardeau. I drive through Wycliffe, which is probably the greatest, most beautiful city around. You got the river and the confluence. And then Cairo, I drive through there. I stop at Shinwell's Barbecue all the time, get some barbecue, and then I go up to Cape Girardeau. But I just love driving through the river bottoms and talking and talking and talking, and y'all are like, I wish this guy shut up and play. So this is a song I made up one day on that drive, and it's about a girl who sells candy at a train depot. As I jumped off of that river train, I heard that conductor turn and say, don't get caught down here picking them daisies, and then he blew away. I took 3 last steps as a free man, saw her there with her head in her hand and big eyelashes sitting behind that candy stand. She said, I'm Sassy Molly, I slang that depot candy to all the little boys, and do you think you want a piece? I said, indeed. She said, $2 bills won't buy my love. No, my dear, that ain't enough. My jelly beans and my licorice are the real stuff. And I declare I blush. She pulled that taffy, my suspenders popped, her lollipops made my heart drop right down to the floor of a sweet shop. Oh, yes, Sassy Molly, she keeps slinging that depot candy, and the time about come that I get me a piece, or maybe 2 or 3. She had me whistling. She was like, she had me down on my knees. My sweet tooth was begging please for her sweet love, and don't care about no cavity. You better give it to me. Yes, Sassy Molly, slinging that depot candy, and I'm a man who's gonna get me a piece. I don't want nothing that'll melt away but a big old slice of forever, and maybe one for another day. Well, you can keep your mountain girls. I got me this river bottom queen. She's a train depot peppermint dream. She got the sweetest thing. I'm Sassy Molly. She got the real thing. Oh, my Sassy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Nathan Black Lynn. Thank you, Nathan.